In this video, we'll uncover the most valuable wheat pennies you should be on the lookout for. We'll break down what makes these coins so special, how much they're worth in today's market, and what you need to know to sell them successfully at auction. First up, we have the 1949 Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1-cent coin with an S mint mark. While most people might see a rusty, damaged penny as nothing more than a worn-out coin, collectors understand that even such imperfections can increase the value of a coin, especially if it's rare. Let's break this coin down. Its historical context, its design features, how damage and wear can actually add value, and why collectors are still hunting for this particular version. Today, 1949 was a pivotal year in American history. It marked the end of the post-World War II era, a time when the country was transitioning into a new economic phase. The 1940s were crucial for the United States, as the country was recovering from the aftermath of the war. During this period, the U.S. Mint continued to produce various denominations of currency, including the famous Abraham Lincoln Wheat cents that had been in circulation since 1909. The Lincoln Wheat cent design, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two wheat stalks on the reverse, had been a staple of American coinage for several decades. The wheat cent was eventually replaced by the Lincoln Memorial cent in 1959, making coins like the 1949 version especially collectible today, as they represent the tail end of the wheat cent era. But what makes the 1949 Lincoln Wheat cent so special? And why are collectors so interested in even the damaged ones? Let's dive into that now. The 1949 Wheat cent is part of the long-standing Lincoln series. On the obverse of the coin, we see Abraham Lincoln's portrait, which was designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has remained iconic, and it's still featured on the current 1-cent coins today. The reverse features two stalks of wheat, which is why these coins are commonly referred to as wheat cents. The 1949 version stands out because it was produced at the San Francisco Mint, as indicated by the S mint mark. While the mint mark is often subtle, it plays a significant role in determining the coin's rarity and value. In 1949, the San Francisco Mint struck around 1.1 billion Lincoln Wheat cents, making it a relatively common year in terms of mintage. However, certain coins from this year, especially those with unique conditions like our featured coin, can be quite rare and valuable. Now, you might wonder, why is a rusty, damaged condition coin so valuable? Well, that's where things get interesting. While most damaged coins are seen as devalued by many collectors, certain types of damage, especially with historical coins, can add significant value, especially when paired with a rare mint mark and unique characteristics. For example, a rusty, damaged condition coin like this one, with its S mint mark, is still very valuable because it's rare in any condition. Even with the corrosion and rust, collectors are interested in coins like this because it is a piece of history. The coin's age, combined with its rarity, creates a unique opportunity for coin collectors and investors looking for something different and significant. Coins in damaged condition like this one may be priced at anywhere from $38,500 depending on the level of damage and collector interest, but keep in mind that specific auctions could yield even higher prices due to the rarity of the mint mark combined with the unique historical story it tells. Now, let's talk about errors and why this coin still attracts collectors despite its condition. Coins with an S mint mark are generally less common than those minted at Philadelphia or Denver, making them more desirable to collectors. The key with this 1949 penny is that it still carries its historical significance despite the rust damage, which makes it a collector's project for some serious enthusiasts. Furthermore, damaged coins like these often show signs of wear and rust that may alter the coin's design in unpredictable ways, creating what some call errors in the coin's surface. Some collectors specifically seek out these errors as unique and interesting additions to their collections. Next, we have another fascinating coin in our lineup. The 1944 Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1-cent coin, which is known for its error date with no mint mark, and for being in a dirty, color-damaged condition. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat cent is already a popular coin due to the historical context of World War II, and when paired with unique characteristics like these, it becomes even more intriguing. 1944 is a significant year in American history. World War II was still raging, and the U.S. Mint was working hard to produce coins that would be circulated during the war. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Cent was struck in the middle of the war effort, during a time when many of the country's resources were dedicated to military efforts rather than coin production. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Cent is part of a pivotal period in the history of U.S. coinage. After the war, the country was recovering, and inflation began to rise. But for now, the coin remained an everyday item for Americans. The Wheat Cent, with its portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, was produced from 1909 to 1958, and its reverse design, with two stalks of wheat, became one of the most recognized and beloved motifs in American coinage. But when looking at the 1944 cent, collectors are drawn not just to the era it represents but also to the unusual circumstances under which these coins were produced. On the obverse, we see Abraham Lincoln's portrait, which is still one of the most iconic images in U.S. numismatics, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, the two stalks of wheat symbolize America's agricultural strength during a time of war. But what makes this coin stand out is its error and condition. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Cent is supposed to have a mint mark of either D for Denver or S for San Francisco. However, this particular coin has no mint mark, which indicates it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. This is where things get a bit tricky, since coins minted at Philadelphia typically didn't have a mint mark. Finding a coin with no mint mark was a regular feature. However, errors and unusual conditions, such as this one, are what catch the attention of collectors. Coins like the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Cent that are in dirty or color-damaged condition still have a lot of potential market value. Yes, this coin is not in mint condition, but that doesn't mean it lacks value. In fact, damaged coins can sometimes be more valuable if they have historical significance or unique characteristics. The condition of this coin, while far from perfect, doesn't take away from the fact that it's still a 1944 coin, struck during wartime. This coin can fetch anywhere from $50,000, depending on its specific wear, and any remaining detail of Lincoln's portrait or the wheat stalks. But in certain auction settings, a coin in such a damaged state can go for much higher, especially if the buyer is seeking out rare wartime pieces. The error on this coin, combined with the fact that it's in a damaged, dirty condition, actually makes it even more desirable to collectors. Some collectors specifically look for coins that have unusual errors or marks, as they can't be found anywhere else. In particular, coins from 1944 without a mint mark have always drawn attention. And when you pair that with the color damage and dirty condition, it creates a distinctive and memorable look that stands out in a collection. There's also the appeal of owning a coin from such a tumultuous time in history, which gives these damaged coins even more allure. Next up, the 1918 Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 cent coin holds a special place in U.S. numismatics, not only for its connection to President Abraham Lincoln, one of the most revered figures in American history, but also due to the historical period during which it was minted. The 1918 coin was minted during World War I, a time when the U.S. was deeply involved in the global conflict, which had significant economic implications. This was a period when coins like the Lincoln cent were essential for everyday transactions, even as inflation and changing prices affected the market. The 1918 Lincoln Wheat Cent was part of the larger coinage program initiated by President Theodore Roosevelt in the early 1900s, which aimed to improve the aesthetic quality of American coinage. The Wheat Cent, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, replaced the Indian head cent. The obverse, featuring Lincoln's profile, was designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse design, with two stalks of wheat, was also by Brenner and became one of the most iconic and enduring designs in U.S. numismatics. The 1918 date on the coin is historically significant because it marks a period of transition. The country was embroiled in a major global conflict, and the coin's design, which continued to depict Lincoln on the obverse, was in line with public reverence for the president during his tenure. The 1918 Lincoln Wheat Cent is a highly recognizable coin for its clear and clean design, even in its fine condition. On the obverse, we find the profile of President Abraham Lincoln facing right, a portrait that remains unchanged through the entirety of the Wheat Cent series. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, was notable for the realism of Lincoln's likeness compared to other coins of the time. This was the first coin to feature a portrait of a U.S. president, which was a significant departure from earlier designs. The reverse side features two ears of wheat, which symbolizes the nation's agriculture. The inscription United States of America arches above the wheat, with the denomination 1 cent below. The coin's simplicity and symbolism of American heritage make it one of the most beloved and recognized coins in U.S. history. The 1918 Lincoln Wheat Cent was produced in considerable numbers, but that does not necessarily translate to its availability or low value. The total mintage for the year was 309,165,000 coins, which was relatively high compared to other years in the series. Despite this large mintage, the coin is still considered valuable today, particularly when it's in better condition. Coins from the 1910s, like the 1918 Wheat Cent, are highly sought after by collectors because they represent a period of significant change in the U.S. economic and cultural landscape. The high mintage, however, means that most 1918 cents are not as rare as some of their counterparts from the 1930s or 1940s. But in fine condition, where the coin retains much of its design elements and clarity, it becomes more appealing to collectors, especially those looking to complete their wheat cent collections. In today's auction market, a 1918 Lincoln Wheat Cent in fine condition can fetch anywhere from $29,000 depending on factors like demand, the individual coin's condition, and the bidding environment. Some auctions have seen these coins go for higher amounts, particularly when certified by well-known grading services like the Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, which provide assurance of authenticity and quality. Rare variations, including coins with distinctive minting errors, can increase the value significantly. However, a coin in fine condition, which is slightly worn but still holds a lot of its detail, tends to sit in the lower end of this price range. The 1918 Lincoln Wheat Cent is mostly sought after in terms of its pristine original design. However, some collectors focus on finding key errors from the period, such as die cracks, double dies, or off-center strikes, which can significantly increase the coin's value. For example, a double die error on the 1918 cent could result in a substantial price increase, with auction prices rising into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the severity of the error. Another factor that affects the coin's value is its provenance. Coins that have a history of being part of notable collections or significant auctions can see their value rise due to their historical interest. Many collectors are drawn to the 1918 Lincoln Cent because it represents an era that changed the U.S. in profound ways. Collectors also appreciate the 1918 cent for its place in the series. As part of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, the 1918 coin is a continuation of one of the most beloved coin designs in U.S. history, and it is often sought after by those who are piecing together a complete collection of wheat cents. Next up, the 1941 Lincoln Wheat. 1 cent is another example of a coin from a significant period in U.S. history. The early 1940s were a transformative time for America, as the country was preparing to enter World War II. This era saw many changes in the U.S. economy as wartime production and rationing began to take shape. The coin itself is part of the series that had become a staple in everyday transactions, with its familiar design continuing to symbolize the strength and perseverance of the United States. During the early 1940s, coins were in high circulation as the country dealt with the impacts of the war. However, due to wartime shortages, some coin production was slowed down, and the quality of the coins began to decline in some cases. In this way, the 1941 Wheat Cent, despite having a relatively high mintage, is often valued more highly than its counterparts from the late 1940s because of the combination of historical significance, design, and overall condition. The 1941 Lincoln Wheat Cent is similar in design to the 1918 coin. The obverse features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a powerful symbol of leadership and unity for the United States, while the reverse design displays the wheat stalks. The simplicity of the design is what has made this coin endure over decades. Despite being produced in large quantities, the 1941 coin's design carries historical importance. The obverse portrait of Lincoln is one of the most widely circulated and recognized depictions of a U.S. president. As time has passed, the 1941 Lincoln wheat cent has become a beloved piece of U.S. numismatic history, often sought after by collectors who value its classic design and its connection to the wartime years. The mintage for the 1941 Lincoln wheat cent was a staggering 887,120,000 coins, which means that most 1941 cents are relatively easy to find in circulated condition. However, just because a coin was minted in large numbers doesn't mean it isn't valuable. It's still one of the most widely collected coins due to its role in American history. Many collectors target high-grade specimens, and despite the large mintage, some well-preserved examples of the 1941 coin are rarer than one might expect. Coins that are uncirculated or in very fine condition often command higher prices. These coins are treasured not only for their condition but also for their representation of a time when the United States was preparing for one of the most defining conflicts in its history. In today's market, a 1941 Lincoln wheat cent in circulated condition typically has a value between $15,000 depending on the condition. It's common for collectors to find these coins at relatively low prices in auction settings, especially if they're not in great condition. However, coins with higher grades and certified authenticity can bring in much more. For example, a coin graded as MS-65 or higher can fetch several $1,000s at auction, and coins with desirable errors can see prices soar even further. Just like other coins from the series, the 1941 Lincoln wheat cent is not immune to minting errors, which can add significant value. Double die errors, die cracks, and off-center strikes are among the most sought-after issues. The presence of any of these errors on a 1941 coin can cause the value to increase dramatically, with certain variations fetching several $100s or more. Collectors who specialize in mint errors and varieties often pay close attention to the 1941 coin because of its historical context and the possibility of finding valuable mistakes. The scarcity of error coins from this period also contributes to their desirability. For many collectors, the 1941 wheat cent represents both a chance to own a piece of American history and an opportunity to add a rare find to their collection. Have you ever found a valuable wheat 1 penny in your collection? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy collecting.